know reasons. We don't want to know reasons. And we've really, really victimized people. We judge people. We condemn people. We add to people's problem. Being a single parent to start with is not a crime. It's not a crime. Anybody can find themselves to be a single parent. Anybody. You could be happily married today, enjoying your marriage. Everything is rosy, rosy. I mean, nobody goes into marriage with the intention of the idea, the thoughts that things will go wrong. Nobody. But then life happens, things happen. You find yourself in something you did not bargain for. And maybe at some point you cannot cope anymore. You decide, oh, in Japa, let me protect myself, my children, and run away from my life. You know, it's not until it's a physical abuse. There's so many reasons why anyone can choose or decide to end the marriage or to run out of their marriage. But if you do not know people's full stories, please do not judge. Please do not condemn. It's painful. It is really, really painful. People are going through a lot. Life is very, very challenging. Life is very, very challenging. Okay, let me see if I can bring Latifa on internet and everything. Please behave tonight, though. My sister, are you on?
Yeah, I'm on.
Thank you. Ṣé fẹ́ bá wa dá sí ètò yìí? Okay. You know, so I'm looking at a couple of reasons that have a lot of why this, why that, why that. I'm gonna read a couple of my why and then we'll look into answers because I do not want to dwell long on this topic. One of the things, my question is, what are the primary reasons for stigma surrounding single motherhoods, single mothers? What are the primary reasons why we have the stigmatization? Is it lack of knowledge, lack of understanding? Is it lack of exposure? Or is it based on our upbringing? Sister Felicia, I know, thanks for joining. My God never fails, Sandy. Yanoluwa Kama Ge Anane, thanks for joining. Is it lack of understanding, lack of information? Or is it what has been passed on to us from generation that divorce is being frowned upon? Even when you go to your parents and like, I'm suffering in this marriage, I want to come back home. They say, I've already in Ilioco, go and manage, go and submit, go back there. You cannot come home. Oh, Lady Dale Mushu in my home, you know, and for whatever reasons, these are advice we've grown up with. These are teachings we've grown up with. It's a taboo for you to leave your marriage. And we've seen, I mean, thank God we have internet now that is exposing a lot of things. But even before internet age, a lot of people die in silence. Some died, maybe the husband would cover up what the truth of the situation, what happened, how did the woman die. Nobody will know the truth, and people just spy like that, you know. And a lot of parents have lost their beloved daughters into marriage just because, what would people say? That my daughter has a failed marriage. Which is better, to have a failed marriage or to be 6 feet down, you know? But then people do not really want to know. We are quick to judge. We are quick to, I think to judge is the biggest word in it. So I don't know if anybody have any other contribution to that. What are the primary reasons for stigma surrounding single mothers? Olatunji, thanks for joining. Why are single mothers stigmatized? We see that single mothers often face judgment and negative stereotypes. because society still holds traditional views about family structures, what it should be, how it should be, how their parents have lived, and it has to be just like that. And people may assume single mothers are irresponsible or can't provide for their children. Of course, it is of a truth that to look after your child by yourself is not the child's play. Financially, let us not even look into the moral and the rest of it. Financially alone, it is not easy. It is not easy. The economy is not smiling at anyone, so, and they see them as being irresponsible and that they cannot provide for their children. And this attitude can lead to stigma and make life harder for single mothers. So if they're already struggling and based on finance, they have to go to work, they have to make ends meet. Some people have to do 2-3 jobs. Some people have to take a lot of insult just to be able to put food on the table for their children, to put clothes on them, to send them to school. This is a job for 2 people, even more than 2 people. There should be community parenting. There should be uncles, aunties, grandparents. It takes a lot to raise a child. And if a woman now finds herself doing this on her own, she will add more to her stress. My second question is this. Ashabi, thanks for joining. Why are single mothers judged more harshly than single fathers? In fact, men, I need somebody to really help me with this. Why are single mothers judged? I don't think I've ever heard a single father judged like, I don't think I've ever heard it. Maybe somebody have heard that before and you want to share with us. Jiniola, thanks for joining. Why are single mothers judged more harshly than single fathers? Jiniola, you can help me with this. I don't mind. If you cannot talk, type, I'll read.
Is the person that, sorry.
Yes, my sister.
Is the person that wears the truth that knows where it hurts.
100%.
Being a single mother is not a crime. The situation you meet yourself. And it's not that you really want to be a single mother. It's not that the relationship you, so you don't need to find in the relationship because you want to have a marriage that is not working for you. If your marriage is not working for you, fine, you have to leave the marriage. If you struggle to live, if you go to your parents and they say you can go back, at the end of the day, you cannot cope being there. So you have your life to live. You can make the way forward. Because it's better to be safe than sorry. That's what I better to be safe. Sorry.
Than sorry.
A lot of people have met their under 6 feet now because they want to be married. I've lost about 3 sisters in this country that I know how to marry girls. Their predicament was due to the marriage. That was how they found themselves under 6 feet. So if something is not working for you, would advise you to just let them talk. They talk about it for like a month or two. Later they will forget about it. And everybody will move on again. But it's your life, if it's happiness you are looking. So you need to make your happy. Be here for a very long time. Because if you are looking about people who speak, and what can this that. My brother will say, all my aunties are, all my sisters are, they are husband. Don't blame me. You are just not lucky. So cannot kill yourself because you are not lucky. At least your children to look up to. So you don't take care of your children, and your children should look at you and pick you up. Are you struggling to look for what is not looking for you? Yeah, so it's better to receive than sorry. You look for what is not looking for you. Looking at your lane. If God is going to marry, even after 5 kids, God will bring your own helper. That will be like a father of everything to you. The men as well. I have men that my friends that they have kids as well that they are doing parents. They are doing well. They are doing well. They are not ready to. They don't want any their children's the ordering them up. They just want to keep it and have a girlfriend that so that the home will not come upside down. And the children will not live. The man that has suffered to look after 3 or 4 kids, at the end of the day, the woman will come into the marriage, destroy the marriage, destroy the whole job that the man has been suffering with the kid. The kid are supposed to be there for the man. They all need him because of the woman. So at the end of the day, that man wasted effort.
Yes, so
that's a wasted effort over the kid. So at the end of the day, that is why some men are determined when they leave a marriage, they don't want to go back into that marriage. They focus on their kid. They are single fathers. They look after their children on their own because they also want them to look after them. But to bring another woman in, that would bring in, creating problems, talking about the kids that do this, that, turning the house upside down. The man thinks about what's going on there. At the end of the day, just tell the lady, please, I think you have to stay in your lane and leave my children alone because I've suffered. Stay in your lane now. Anything you want, I'll be doing it for you. Because those children are my everything. You cannot cope with them. It's better you sit down. Anything you want, I'll sort you out. Children are my everything. That's why some people, when they go into some other single things, they change it for good. They take up kids and give that kid that you don't even know that what's the mom. This life is not straightforward. But some people, because I'm like, what I have this somebody said to me about that we parents, we have when it comes to decision over our, that we have to be very careful. And we have to be very careful about our children when they are foreign their partner. Guy said, do you believe? I think that interview was Bimbo. Bimbo now.
Which one?
Bimbo that is doing this
acting
related.
Okay.
To do issues on Bimbo Akisoya, what's her name? I can't remember her name.
Okay.
One of these is a celebrity artist. Actress, yeah.
Okay. I know Bimbo.
I used to do talk show. Some guy came on program.
Or is it Abiola? Abiola.
They interviewed the guy said we have to be very careful when it comes to decision making over our children, over our marriages and whatnot. That because when he was trying to have a marriage, the mom said, the girlfriend that it was with them, the girlfriend is so nice, lovely. She's a very lovely girl that likes the girl. But between the guy and the lady, the guy already told them, the girl that don't tell madam you have people. Never tell her that you have people. Whenever she asks you, you have when you come to my house. Okay, I've heard. So she's been going there. Everything was rosy. They are not married yet. So one day she left the guy left the lady with the mom.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like women talk. They're having a women talk, you know. So the mom was talking to the lady. When I asked my son, this is what I was doing. He was always praying around. We have to do this. When you talk to me at the age of 3 months, he did this, he did that, was just starting, women talk. So that was so we were just starting. Now, when that one, this is the girl, that one, this is what it is. When it got to the lady, she said, when I had my first baby, this was what was.
Oh no, she talked too much.
This was what was happening. You know, the mom said, wow. Before the third baby came, it came to world and he went back. I should have had my third baby now. The mom said, so you have 3 baby already. He said, yes, now. He said, okay, that's good for you. But you know what? My son is a man. He hasn't have any kid though. And you are the first woman he will bring to my house to come and tell me that he wants your hand in marriage. Because you have 3 kids already. It's better you don't marry my son.
Oh no.
He said, why now, mommy? Then you marry your son. He said, no, you can't marry my son. No. Thank God I have your mom's number. Just said, hold on, he called the mom. Please, I don't want to be enemy with anybody. We are still going to be friends, but I don't want your daughter to marry my son. My daughter has got 3 kids. My son haven't got any children. No. And I'm very sure the kids are with you. So it's not possible for my son to marry somebody that has 3 kids. So the lady said, but some baby in Sharon now, having a child is not a cause or whatever. So the lady said they were just struggling with that relationship. At the end of the day, I shouldn't deceive you, that relationship did not hold. They had to split. Everybody has to go its ways. But before the girl left the house, the girl was telling the guy that, look, the mom said that that I've got 3 kids. I am cursing you today. You will never see any woman that you will marry that will not have children. They will even have children more than me. Like joke.
But it's not the guy's fault. Why is she cursing him?
You believe that this guy married a lady that the guy's first son, that lady was the 9th one.
Number 9.
Number 9.
You know that.
Talk show. It's like joke. He was thinking it's just a joke. Yeah, no, listen, to be more metal, but I want to be more junior.
That's like not fair, though.
This is your first son, Abby, and it's my own number 9.
My sister, my question is this, so that we don't derail too much from the cocoa of the night, is why are single mothers judged more harshly than single fathers? Somebody said it's because they are hardworking. I'm not sure if that answers the questions. Anybody wants to help me? Why are single mothers judged more harshly than single fathers? Maybe we are all single. So why is it only women, single mothers, that are being victimized, are being ridiculed, are being disrespected?
But you know that some people, they are the one that made themselves single mothers.
But we're looking at it on a general level now.
They want, because of this country we are in, they want to gather all the money. They want to enjoy all those wealth that they give to single mothers. They want to have their house, all the single mother money coming in, left and right from the benefits, whatever, when they have kids. Because they know that when the man is in the house, they will struggle. and the man will also want to have his own money by his own side. You know, he will make it 70-30 or 50-50. You know, because in marriage in this country it should be 50-50. But our Nigerian men, when they are in a marriage, they believe that I did not come and count bridge in UK. You are working with you and working. We have to be sorting things out. They will even want you to do more. They will tell you that you are the one in, like you people are in charge. You know, like you people are in charge. So normally I shouldn't pay. Some men will even tell you that, you know, I shouldn't even be paying for house rent.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine? I've heard a lot of like that in this country. You know, in Nigeria, who is paying the house rent? Is it not the men?
Yes.
Is it not the men? Who is giving the wife money to buy food in the house for the children? Is it not the men? But when we got here, they change everything to, okay, let's do it 50-50. When it's up to even be 70, 60, 40, you know. But according to our, it should even be 70, because man is doing much. Even if the woman is not financially putting something down, but she's doing a lot in the properties, she's doing a lot in the house. Looking after children is not easy. It is those men that are single parents that they can only tell you. But you know, as a single lady, some people, they are the one that make themselves single. I've seen a lot of them like that. And they push out their husband that they themselves single. Not talking about people that want to in the marriage.
Sister Peju, we cannot dispute that. You know, we cannot dispute the reason. But I don't want us to look at just the reason tonight. Because, I mean, if you decide to make yourself single, you're single. Okay, for whatever reason, either your husband died, either you divorced, like we said, don't die in marriage, run and protect yourself. Either you choose to leave the marriage because you want to collect benefits, whatever the reason is. Why? Sorry?
Something today on someone's table.
Yeah.
That wording was saying that it's better to make yourself, what did they say about the relationship, that when you are in a relationship, I can't remember, but to come back again. Is to come back again. And I remember just to come back again. It was so funny, I just laughed when I read it about relationship like this. It's not regarding religion this country expected.
Bookie D, thanks for joining. Mr. Sam, thanks for joining. Sister Tessie, can you talk where you are, Sister Tessie?
I don't even know how to talk.
I can hear you.
I want to be sure. Good evening.
Good evening. We're looking at why are single mothers more victimized in the society, more than single fathers. The single father is like nobody's even seeing them. I mean, there is a saying that the same reason why we have, let me put it in Yoruba, I'll translate it in English. Obìnrin mi ò lórí ọkọ, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ọkùnrin mi ò lórí ọkọ. Some women have issues in settling down. So also some men have issues in settling down. It could be a spiritual reason. It could be because of their character. It could be anything. It's not peculiar to women. Yet we have men who are single fathers, but they are not being victimized. How come it's only the women that are being victimized?
I think in all of it, it's just the African culture that is bringing all these things to our midst. That's it. Just African culture. We believe that you don't have a husband, you are not. Or in a way, it's not that you are not interested for husband is like a crown to your head that he respects you. Because it reduces the attraction of other men to say one of you. But it's not supposed to be like a single mother will not do it because it's just basically African culture. That's what it's not that.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to read something I have here. It's a double standard thing, I believe, that exists, when we talk about masculinity and femininity, which is not fair. It's something that's in the society, and that often expect women to be caregivers and men to be breadwinners. And so when single fathers take care of their kids, it's seen as the norm. It's the man. He's the one looking for the money, bringing the money, and so he has money to look after the children. That is quote and unquote. When single fathers take care of their kids, it's not seen ugly. They are praised for being involved parents, being involved in the life of their children, because while they are doing the job of the man being the breadwinner and also the caregiver. Meanwhile, single mothers are judged for not having a partner, even though they are doing the same thing. To me, it's an unfair judgment which reflects outdated gender roles. Why did I say gender roles? Man is the breadwinner, the woman is the caregiver. It's a gender role. It's not. There's nothing outdated about it. That's the way it's been structured, and there's no crime in that. But if for any reason the table turns, you have to do what you have to do to survive. You have to be the man, the breadwinner. Okay, let's even go back. Let's rewind a little bit. You are married. You are with your husband, living together. Sister Kweju mentioned part of it earlier on that, now in UK, men come down and expect the woman to support them with bills. But in Nigeria, they are the one that pay almost all the bills. Okay, so already the woman is doing it even though you are living together as husband and wife. She's supporting you financially. She's the caregiver. She's the cleaner. She's the everything in the house. So what is wrong if she's doing that as a single mother? How does it become a crime suddenly? Because while you are both married, while you are both together, living together as couples, she's doing the same thing anyway. She's supporting you financially. I'm not saying that is wrong. We need to help each other. And Sakweji earlier on was saying something about ratio, 70-30. I don't believe in that. I believe in whoever sees the snake should kill the snake. If you have more money than me as a man, automatically and naturally, you're going to spend more.
It should be 70-30.
Oh, okay, back home. All right.
At least it should be. But to responsible, they don't allow their children to do any, don't do any statement or deal here in this country. Responsible men. Responsible.
I wouldn't use the word responsible men.
Cultured men that are trained, that they have good parenting from back home. They will tell them that it's my own father that is responsible for everything. You don't need to do anything. All you have to do is look after the children and make a home for me. That's all.
Sister Akpeju, let me come into that. I disagree with you, and it's not fair. It's not fair to put all the burden and expenses on men. If the man can afford it, why?
That is our own culture I'm talking about.
Even on the culture, if the man, that is why you see a lot of men go into rituals, doing a lot of things to make money. Because why? Because why? They want to fit into the shoe of responsibility as an African man. If the man can afford it, why not pay all the bill? So it will be your money for us, my money for me. It's beautiful. But if the man cannot, then the woman should automatically step in. It should not be your job. I don't care where you're going to bring the money from. How are you going to go and look for the money? Just bring the money for me. It's a mentality that has somehow enslaved the mind of the woman, made women lazy, made women to, and that's why they will end up and tell you the place of the woman is in the kitchen. But I am trying not to derail from today's topic. So I'm going to go back to where we are. Single mothers, single mothers should be accepted and be encouraged in the society. That's where I am. I don't want, marriage is big. So if we're gonna keep going up and down, we're not gonna discuss what we are really discussing tonight. How do we encourage single mothers in our society today? If you know somebody who is a single mother, how would you support them? How would you support them? In your own ways, how would you support them? Anybody wants to help me?
No, I just wanted to chip in. The crave in the society, it's been on a downward trend. We've seen a lot of family unit being broken, and the men going their ways and the women taking to their own use too. So this has really cost a whole lot. Someone did mention um, the judgments, why we have more judgments on single mothers,
Yes.
right? The society, the African society sees the woman as the home builder.
Mm-hmm.
She owns the home, she builds the home, she directs the home. If you go back in the days, it's more like a taboo when you hear the word that you're divorced,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because they don't want to see more like you failed in your responsibility. I'm not saying that we don't have homes where we have domestic violence, or we have the husbands being using their wives as a punching bag. In situations like that, we still have society where society frown at those characters, and people come up and up in arms and say, "No, this is not accepted."
But
Right?
Gino, can you
This
raise
is
your
the
voice a little bit, please?
okay. Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Okay. Is it better?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So we have a society as the African patriarchic system is created, the mother holds the home. So when a woman leaves the home, right, for any reason whatsoever, and comes back, right, she's being judged. Is that going to change anytime soon? I don't think so, because that's our society. And somebody was saying that's the African society. Nope. Um, we also live in Europe. If you go to um, the those that live in the suburb, you see exactly the same character, exactly the same traits. The way we live, that's the same way they live, right? So, like you did mention that, everybody has roles and responsibility that is being accorded.
Mm-hmm.
Those roles and responsibility, once we move out of our role, um, it creates an imbalance. The
Mm-hmm.
imbalance in the society these days, it's a lot. The first speaker did mention that you see some ladies, they are just after the gratification that is being given to them by the society, not looking at the other things that is going to
Important.
play out, that are important, right? So now it could be a few bad eggs, right, that are doing this thing, but it's more like a norm now, and it is all around the society. When you mention two, three people, that are divorced, I call them single mothers, or what they would want to call them. You see that there's this stigma. That stigma is there, whether we like it or not. Because they expect the home, the woman who is the home, who is supposed to run the home, to be there. When she's not there, right, it becomes chaos. No matter how good the man is, no matter how loving he is, if the mother is not there to nurture the children, to bring that love, the children, it's not that the children are going to turn out bad, no, but there's a vacuum. Same thing when the father is not there. So we want the society to come back to the way it is. Now, if we go back again, not like I'm trying to derail from the topic, if you see a lady that is a widow, right? She's been accorded and respected. Nobody says anything evil or anything bad.
But how would you know
Does
if
her.
she's a widow if you don't know her story?
No, so a lady that is a widow is a widow. When they have conversation and they find out that, oh, she lost her husband some time ago, right? She has this sympathy that comes to her being a widow, right? But once a lady opens her mouth and say she is a single mom, these days single mom is more like a badge that people wear, more like a honor. They walk around and say, I'm a single mother, carrying it and crying all around the society. Now it's now becoming something that we are supposed to sit back and reflect and say, what happened that caused the breakdown of this marriage has now turned to something that is a norm. People get married today, and the next 2 months they are divorced. Like the story that that lady was the first speaker was talking about, right? The foundation already started in a deceit. If she didn't tell the mother that, look, I had children before. If that lady had children before and she lost her husband, that's a different case. I bet you that that woman probably would. I'm not saying convincingly that she's going to accept her, but she might accept her.
Yeah, but then
she know that
from the
she's a
story,
widow.
it was not an issue of how did you become a single mother. The fact that you have children at all, and my son does not have any, looking after other people's 3 children.
Other people's children, yeah. Yeah. So the conversation, like I said in chat here, I said that conversation started in a deceit, whether it's coming from the husband or it's coming from the wife or coming from the fiance, right? We need to be open in our conversation. We need to know each other to the best of our ability, put everything on the table, and let people accept us the way we are, right? If there are things that we're doing that may have cost our marriage in the past, let's sit back in retrospect and find a way to get to amend those things. So we don't just carry that back. You hardly see a man come up and be shouting, I'm a single father, I'm a single father. You don't hear that from men. But women, it's more like a badge or a medal that comes to their head. Hey, I'm a single mother now. I'm a single mother now. Then what do you expect the society to do? If I come now and start telling you that, oh, I'm a single father, it doesn't even ring a bell if a man opens his mouth and say, I'm a single father. Other men will ask him, and so, you're a single father. What about it? Because they don't tolerate. They want to go in nitty-gritty to find out what really happened, what caused your separation. And to a greater extent, men are more true to themselves, because when he says something and his friends listens to him, they'll say, this is where you have your faults, right? And they'll call him out and find a way to admonish him, so that
thank you for liking. Thank you all for liking. Thank you for joining. Yeah, okay.
In case it comes up tomorrow, and he will know that, okay, this is where I messed up. This is things that I didn't do right, and he will try to fix it. But in the other space, we see that they are even celebrated. You see somebody that goes through this process, they will throw a party. Can you just imagine? They throw party, yes, that they are separated.
What? Where?
Oh, you've not seen it? Oh.
No.
Okay. I'm following you here. I think I've just started following you now.
I'll send you for being a single mother.
For being divorced. People celebrate their divorce, that, look, I just finalized my divorce proceedings.
Well, let us pause a little bit. It depends on the story.
No,
I know no matter what it is, it's not something worth celebrating.
It's not worth celebrating at all.
Let me rewind.
It's not worth celebrating.
It doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense.
I'll give up the mic for other people to speak.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that contribution. Thank you all for joining. Yawoke, Raquel, my beautiful Posh. But Oleshi, thanks for joining. Mira, thanks for joining. Okay, what did I do? Where's everybody? Thank you all for joining. Just bear with me. I'm playing around with my laptop. Okay, where are we? Irrespective of all that has happened, we have single mothers, we have single fathers. Now, this program is not supporting, neither is it encouraging single parenthood. No matter how strong you are as a woman or as a man in looking after your children, bringing them up, The fact that the second party is not there, there is a vacuum. End of story. And that vacuum can create more problems, not for you, well, some for you, but more for the children involved. I have seen children who've gone into different level stages of trauma because their father was not there or because their mother was not there. They have lashed out, they have behaved in certain ways, they've expressed their bitterness, their anger, their frustration in a lot of negative ways. So we are not celebrating being a single mother, being a single father, but we are saying, or what I am saying is this: you are a single parent, you are a single mother, whether you like it or not. For whatever reason you find yourself there, it's not the end of the world. We are moving forward, you're striving, and you're doing your best. Should the society add to your problem? Should the society support you? Should the society victimize you and then make what's the word now? Bring you down emotionally and otherwise? That's what I am saying. Do we support? Now, I'm just hearing something new now, which is a shocker, that people celebrate being divorced. That it's, do I say that's wonderful? I don't know. I beg you, ain't tèmi ta ló tún fẹ́ gòkè, ta ló fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀. This one we are here now shock me. But Aleshi, yeah, gbóhùn.
Hello.
Hi. My beautiful sister Kikelomo Abita. Lady T himself.
Good evening, house. Where do I start from?
Mm-hmm.
I want to break it down. I heard all what the gentleman said.
Mm-hmm.
And in life we agree to disagree on so many levels. Let me start with some points about when you spoke about how society can support them. First of all, like you said, I thought you were challenging the man about if someone is a widow, how would they know? If you don't know the stories. First of all, this society, we have to talk about cultural awareness first. In the UK, being a single mom or single parent, I don't think anyone cares, realistically. But the outcome of it, we see it in a lot of these children. Back in Nigeria or back in Africa, let me not center on one particular place. Back in Africa, we have a lot of stigmatization going on about being a single parent. We don't often see it back home, but a lot of people are now waking up because we've got the internet, we've got social media. Now, when we talk about how society can help them, I think first and foremost, it's best if we don't stigmatize people because they decide to be single parents. And I'm talking on a personal and professional level. If I don't know what I'm talking about, I would not. And when I saw the topic on your forum, I was laughing. I'm like, I need to get into this program to say some words. And I need a lot of people to learn. I know a policeman came out one time, they brought a policeman out and they said something about, an African man. And I was quite disappointed with his statement. Oh, you African woman, you need to stop calling the police on your husband, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I think I saw that. Yeah.
You saw that. Oh, because you want to take some benefit and some this.
How much is the benefit?
How much is the benefit? Thank you very much. Number one. Number two, I'm not against, like you said, I'm not against, or I'm not for women that decide to say, I want to be a single. No one chooses. I don't think anyone will wake up or get married to someone in the aspect of saying, you know what, in the next 2 years, I'm gonna dump him. I don't want to use any word crass. I'm gonna dump him because I want to be a single parent to take care of 3 or 4 children.
No.
I've got 4 kids. And why would I, in my right mind, think, you know what? I want to be a single mom because they're going to give me some benefit. They're going to give me this. They're going to give me that. Everyone has a story. And I will tell you, and why I said professionally is because I'm a social worker. So I have seen things where I would not advise parents to stay together. Sometimes. I have a story, someone that I know, that they told both parents to be apart. They were toxic. The toxicity was too much. The animosity towards each other was too much. They warned them they need to separate. But no, did they listen? No. They're Nigerians. Now what happened? 2 years go. 2 years? No, I lie. 3 years going now. They've taken 3 kids from them. Because they refuse to separate. Now they're separated, but the kids have been taken. So at the end of the day, when we talk about being a single mom, in some cases, some people might decide, well, this is my choice. I don't want to live with a man. That is that decision. No one should label them or stigmatize them. They're adults. We're all adults, not kids going into marriage. We've seen a lot of people being stuck with a man. And I know we keep talking about for the children, but what does it benefit the children if 2 partners that are toxic to each other are living under the same roof? Who does it benefit? Do you think it benefits the children?
Yes.
No. It doesn't benefit them. It wouldn't benefit them if you have 2 parents yelling at each other every day.
No.
They will be traumatized still. But what would it not benefit them if they have a parent, a single parent that shows love, kindness, happiness?
They are better off,
every day.
100%.
They are better off. But what I do not understand is when people label single women, why are people not talking about the men that have abandoned their responsibilities? So all of a sudden, the women are at fault. So I don't want to marry you anymore, but where are the men? Where are the men? Because when I say professionally, I have worked with families that the men have actually abandoned the family. They are toxic. They can't live with the women, but they're still not taking care of their children. So not being with a woman doesn't mean you can't co-parent.
Parenting is different from my wife or my husband. They are 2 different
Definitely. Things. So we're talking about people being a single parent or being a single mom. Being a single mom, when did that ever become a crime? That's not a crime. That's never a crime. That should never be a crime. But we come from a culture. And when I say culture, I'm using my 2 hands doing a quote where we stigmatize women because they decide to choose peace of mind over being married to a toxic man. And don't get me wrong, sometimes the women are as deadly as the men. I have lots of evidences about women that are toxic to the man. And sometimes it's best for the man to step away. I'll take care of my children, I'll do everything, but I can't live with you. Recently, a story was going about around, I don't know if you heard about it, where the man, and personally, I heard it from someone close to the woman. The man woke up and told the woman, you know what, after 8 years of marriage, blah, 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 I don't think I can do this anymore. The kids are driving me crazy. I'm going to leave. I don't think I can do this with you, but I'm going to be sending you money to take care of 5 kids. The woman didn't say anything. You should hear it. It was on the news, on social media news. The woman didn't say anything. Following week, the woman took a passport and the kids' passports, shook it very well, and traveled to Nigeria. So you want to abandon me with 5 kids? So she did a quick one. So where do we stop labeling women And I stopped it a long time ago before I became a professional, to knowing people's stories. I stopped judging people because you need to treat each individual separately. They are not the same. You know, you don't use one solution for you or for me or for any other person. Everyone has a story. So when people talk about, oh, don't marry single women, or don't, why do we keep labeling these women? They've been through hell.
90% of them, they make themselves single.
They didn't make themselves single. Why would anyone get married and think, well, you know what, a few years down the line, I think I'm going to leave this man because I want to be a single woman to take care of the kids myself. It's not easy taking care of one child. Now imagine people having 2 or 3 or 4. Why would they want to make themselves single? For what?
My sister, Nigeria, I know of a very, very close person to me, so I can speak on figures.
Good.
She earns about £2,000 every month. She still gets baby benefit 500, and maybe another child benefits for the underage. She gets roughly like 100 and something pounds. Adding all that up, she still has to do business on the side to balance.
To take care of the kids.
To take care of the kids. So
where are the men?
So why would she want to go through all that stress?
By herself.
By herself, just because I want to get benefit. The benefit does not pay your rent and your bills. If it pays all your bills, that's where it stops. You don't have a life.
We need to go back to the gentleman that spoke earlier on. I admire what you said and everything, but let's call a spade a spade. A lot of parenting done back in Africa is wrong because a lot of people focus on the girls.
The girl child.
What about the men? If I'm trying to build something and you are destroying it, how would that mold? So I should keep molding it and you should keep destroying it. That's not on. I told my husband, I said, you know, I'm going to go on this show. He said, I know you like going on things like this. You can talk on things. Yeah, I do, because I do a lot of guest speaking, host and everything. And it really riles me up when I hear about things like, and I'm thinking, people are not speaking up enough about the men. They've got men out there with bad characters, nasty characters. They are not trained, untrained men. And they want respect, they want this, they want that. And the women of nowadays, I cannot be working, contributing 70, 80%, and you're demanding everything from me. If you die, I tell people, if you should die, there is no separate heaven for being a missus. So choose your battle while you're alive. Choose your battle. A woman died, one of the few people that came into the country not too long ago. About last year, they convicted the man last year, May. He killed his wife because she was working, she was this, she was that. Bear in mind, they've had all these domestic issues going on before. Would it not have benefited her to be alive, to be called a single mom, than be dead? Wait. Now you're dead, your children are they're going to be orphaned because there's not going to be dad. The dad is going to prison for a long time. And even if he comes out, he's not going to be their dad anymore. And I'm thinking from a personal experience. I lost a girlfriend of mine in 2011, December. I remember correctly because we went to uni together in 2000. We finished 2004 at uni together here. We started working together at the airline 2004 as well, and she died 2011 because she told me that, and I didn't know that she was going through domestic violence. And this guy stabbed her 16 times.
They will tell you, don't tell third party what you are going through.
So would he not have benefited her to be a single mom? So we need to know these people's story. We need to stop stigmatizing these women, thinking we need to just stop this with the stigmatization. It's enough. and I fight for them. I'm not because I'm not a single mom, but it rounds me up because I've got daughters. And I would never advise my daughter to say, oh, if God forbid you with an abusive man, don't worry. I want not go through it. God forbid.
Go through what nonsense?
No. Domestic violence is a no. The statistics are high. Google it, please. So I would never advise any woman out there, if you're going through a domestic violence situation or a man is emotionally abusing you, not many people see, it's not all physical violence sometimes. There's people that...
The emotional one is worst.
Yeah, you see what my husband said? My husband said COVID brought everything out. That was the truth.
Yes, because I mean, the physical one, people can see. Or why do you have a red eye? Why is your cheek swollen?
Oh my God.
But the emotional one, even if you tell people, people don't believe you unless you have evidence.
We need to stop. I've seen a man gaslight his wife, and this was at a review conference, child protection. That was one of the reasons why I left child protection. And he gaslighted his wife so much, every professional present was aware of the gaslighting. We could see the gaslighting. Even though the guy was not present, he was on camera because they can't be together in the same place. Wow. And we could feel the gaslighting, and we're not even his wife. So we need to stop as Africans. We need to stop with the labeling that someone is a single mom. Because you want to be a single mom, good for you if it gives you peace of mind. What about the men? Train your men. Train the men. Train the men. They don't talk, and the women are not talking, and they're dying every day. They end up in mental... I've worked in mental hospitals where most of the culprits are the men. Yeah, we just lost someone 3 weeks ago, and we did not know. She lied to us that she slept in the bathroom. Recently, someone that knew her, that connected with us, told us no. She told them that the husband beat her. Ooh. Her brain was... she had surgery twice on her brain. She was in hospice for over 10 years. This was someone we knew. She just died recently. The funeral was 3 weeks ago. So why are we labeling single women? Why are we labeling single women? Why?
Lady K, give me 1 minute. Let me go to other section and come back to you. Thank you very much. Mr. Leshy says a lot of single parenthood result from selfish decisions. We must put the kids first, not ourselves. That's another perspective. Thank you for your contribution. Thank you all for joining on TikTok, Zoom, Facebook, everywhere. God bless you all. I'm going to read something here again that I have. We're looking at how can we support single mothers better. And that I have a few things here to create a more supportive environment. We need to challenge these stereotypes and offer practical help. This can include providing access to childcare, job, training, and emotional support by celebrating diverse family structures and recognizing single mothers. And recognizing them not just because of their individuality, one, also for their strengths. We can reduce stigma and make life easier for them. Support them if you know there's a job somewhere that can better them. Be a billboard. Tell them where to go, what to do. You know, and one of the things I did as a single parent was I always make sure there was a male structure in my kids' life. And I'm really thankful for them. You know, they were there to support, they were there to advise, they were there to chastise them, they were there to pull them together. You know, that went a long way. That went a long way. So we could do a lot to help. Pastor John, do you have a minute?
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. My next question is this. How can education and awareness help us with the single mothers in society? Go on, Pastor John.
Okay, we are talking about accepting
single mothers in our society.
Acceptance in our society. I think one thing we must understand is that single mother, nobody wakes up and chooses a life of a single mother. Some got into single motherhood maybe by divorce or by death of a spouse, or maybe by rape, by suddenly family say this person is the best person, before you know it, they are pregnant, the same man that everybody loves suddenly abandoned them by abandonment. So many of them, nobody ever prepared to be a single mother, because single motherhood is not a joke. Being a parent is not a joke. I think we should stop all this stigmatizing and all this thing. We should understand that they are equally human beings. Now, the thing is, where is the compassion that Jesus preached about? Where is the love we talked about? Where is the love we talked about? If I always like to make reference to Bible. If I say, let me go back to Bible, look at the life of Hagar. Hagar never prepared to be a wife or even to be a mother. But she was coerced into going in with Abraham. At the end of the day, she was chased out of the house. Obviously, she was a single mother. But one thing that we should learn from that, God never abandoned her. Because God understood that it wasn't her fault. That's number one. Then I like saying this, in as much as some people don't like to hear it. Mary would have also been a single mother if not by divine intervention of Joseph. Even when Joseph found out, she wasn't chased away. Because our Lord and Savior was given birth by a single mother. But the fatherly coverage came by a man who took her in. So I think single motherhood is not something that anybody chooses to do. We should learn to love them just like every other person. First and foremost, put ourselves in their shoe. It could happen to anybody. Nobody is perfect. It could happen to your sister. It could happen to your brother. It could happen to anybody. It's not something anybody plans for it. You can plan, hey, I'm going to do it, and suddenly it just happened. What happened? And I tell people, look, I respect single mothers more than the ones that actually aborted. Because there are so many that have also aborted their own. They never had any pregnancy.
See what you are speaking.
I see. Because they play dualism. They play the role of a father. They play the role of a mother. Because sometimes when my wife is not around, it's not easy, me alone, spending this kid for 2-3 days. That's how I'll be screaming and screaming and screaming. I'll have to do their own role, play her own role, and also talk less of a single mother. Then we should give them kudos because it's not easy. It's not an easy task, in all honesty. We should accept them and love them because don't forget, what you sow is what you reap. Because nobody knows who will become a single mother tomorrow. You might be a two-way parents and all this, and suddenly overnight, something will just happen. You just discover that, man, I'm now a single mother, just like that, despite saying I hate it. But that is it.
Excuse me, sir. I think you're mixing a widow and being a single mother.
Accept them, no matter what.
But
you're mixing it together.
Is a widow is still a single parent?
No, they are different. Those are two different things entirely.
I disagree. They are circumstances.
We can have a different discussion on this, but for the sake of this conversation, I would want us to just stick on what the topic is today. But we can't have these two people group in the same bucket. They are two different things entirely.
Okay, now we have a single parent who's lost the husband. She's a widow, but she's still a single parent. Her circumstances is the widowhood.
Yes.
So it's still, we are saying the same thing. It's a circumstance that's the widowhood. But then, as far as we are concerned right now, she is a single parent because she's lost her husband. So also somebody who have 5-10 boyfriend and suddenly find herself pregnant and she doesn't even know who the father of the child is. She's a single parent, but different circumstance. Go on, Pastor John.
Yeah. Just like what you realize, like there are so many things that can actually turn a woman to become a single mother. There are so many aspects of it. Just like either in the name of lust that they call it to be love, just I mean, for instance, I happen to have a sister whom everybody trusts a particular young man, and suddenly he's going to marry him. He's going to marry him. Before you know it, she's pregnant, and before you know it, you just discover that the young man is married abroad, and suddenly the young man said he's not getting married and everything. And overnight, look at her, looking forward to get married. Look at her, she's now a single mother as we speak today. So that's by circumstance. She never bargained for that. So to me, I praise them. I'm not saying that is the proper thing to do. You understand? But however, it has happened. It has happened. What do we need to do? Accept them, show them love, so that we can also join hands in making life easy, so that we'll have a better children tomorrow.
Thank you, Pastor John. Tomorrow. Thank you. I'm going to pause you there. Yeah, okay. Thanks very much. Thank you for the gift, for the roses. Please let us like more on TikTok before we are flagged down. How can education and awareness help? Education and awareness can change people's attitudes by sharing single mother stories. For what we're doing tonight, this is education, awareness. And different people have shared different stories, looking at things from different perspectives, and then our eyes is opened more to reasoning and understanding their story, highlighting their challenges and their successes. When we talk about success, we have single mothers who have raised pilots, who have raised pastors, who have raised engineers, who have raised, giants, people of caliber. And they have their stories, they have their pain, they have the stories that they're not even proud to share. But at the end of the day, their children came out right. They came out right. So it's a success story that needs to be shared to encourage others. When people understand the realities of single motherhood, they are more likely to offer empathy, more likely to offer support, and this can lead to a more inclusive and understanding society. Okay, now I'm going to another question. How can single mothers be empowered? How can we empower single mothers? Mama Amma, Owusu, Gatshini, Titi, thanks all for joining. Lady K, are you still there? How can single mothers be empowered? Lady Kiki.
Oh yeah, I'm still here. I think from my side, to be honest, like you said, we can if we know of any referral to, like, if we know of a mom struggling with her children, maybe like you said about childcare, job support, it's all about knowing maybe like organizations that can support. And as a family as well, I think it starts from the family. We castigate a lot of these people out. And like the last person that spoke about imbibing the Bible, let's love one another first. Loving someone, it doesn't matter what they've done. And like I said initially, no one sets out to be like a single mom. So they've punished themselves already. So why are we adding ours onto it? So in a way that we could support them, first of all, from families, like maybe churches, mosque, when they go there, how do we, if we know the circumstances, the situations, do you want to go out? Oh, I could help watch the kids. Do you know about this organization that supports? Okay, I'll refer you to them. Oh, I signpost you. But in my job, I say a lot of signposting because I signpost a lot of service users to organizations that could support them, either with funding, either with apprenticeship, trying to get their life back on track, where they can meet up with other single people to talk about their stories, to know they're not alone, to share their stories, share their ideas, speak to people, empower them, to let them know you're not alone, you could do it. It's not like we're encouraging people, go be single mother that way,
No,
we can
no.
encourage you, we can get you money. No, it's a hard job being a woman, hard job being a black woman, hard job being a woman with children. Now imagine women that have got children with disabilities. I did a forum, social work forum, where I had about 300 people, and I was one of the guest speakers, and I was speaking about children that had sickle cell. And when parents like this have sickle cell, the children have sickle cell, most of the men, they abandon them. They flee because they don't want that night waking up. They don't want that hospital reruns. They don't want that, oh, I've got a sick child, that stigmatization about, oh, I've got a child with disability. Then they skip. Then the woman ends up being a single mom. But how do we help them? We help them by sorting out good accommodation, writing letters for them, signposting them to other societies that could support them, just to let them know you're not alone. We can help you. We find resources for them, and churches as well. Churches. I know churches sometimes have like a box that they put down. I don't know if mosques have it as well, where they put
Perhaps, yes.
Widows for the needy.
For the needy, yes.
Not all the time people have to announce, but if one or two people do know about this particular person, you could whisper to someone. But the problem is, African people, they do gossip a lot. And instead of solving your problem, they add to it. And they start talking down to you. Well, I've seen people say to a woman, well, you can talk to me.
Oh, no.
I've seen, I have seen it. When I talk from personal experience, from things I witness as well. And they talk down to women. So because I don't have a husband at home, means I can't challenge you. We need to stop that in our society so we can help them by not saying derogatory words to these people, to single moms or single mothers. I think that's the topic. Single mothers. We need to stop with derogatory words about down for my Yoruba people.
Authority over you.
Do you think, because was I not an individual before I got married? You don't think I'm educated enough? So you think a man has to tell me what to do before I know what to do? If it doesn't work out, we don't need to castigate them. So we can help them out by our words of our mouth as well. We can support them by ensuring that we do not add to what they are already burdened with.
Thank you, Lady K. Gina, do you want to add to that?
Yeah, the truth is, when we put everything in one bucket, can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
I know the other time we were struggling, yeah. When we decide to put everything in one bucket, right? Everything seems to be the norm. There are people, like when the lady that just got off now, when she was speaking, there are people that are deliberately evil. You see that people cannot stay with them. And they turn out to be a single mom. And they'll come back to the society. They are still menace to the society. You see them cursing out even people that are trying to help. You help today, you don't help tomorrow. They're cursing you out.
Yep.
Some people are dysfunctional. No matter how you try to help them, right? You see that you're just pouring water into baskets. So those people, you still see them, they will come out and they will be screaming that they are single mothers and the rest. And somebody who have had encounter with that person, tell me how that person is going to relate to the next single mother. And when I said the first time, you don't see men carrying placards on their head that singing that they are single fathers. No, it's only ladies that come out to say they are single mothers. Not to derail from our topic. And the lady also made one assertion which I really need to get data on, that when men find out that their children are sick, they bail out on their children and they just leave, turning the mother back into single motherhood. That's something that needs questioning, because most men stick to their children. I would say she said most men bail out. I'll say no.
She's talking also from a professional side. She's talking
So
of figures.
when you say professional side and you use the word most is what I'm questioning.
Okay.
If you
I see
say
what you
some,
mean.
right? Yes. How many men have you spoken to? How many men have you seen
All
that
right.
has children with sickle cell or that has children with autism that bail out on their children? To me, what we are saying is that we don't want a society where we see our marriage broken. We want a society where we want the family units to function. So that goes back to our parents, that goes back to our forefathers. They try as much as possible in their wisdom, they try as much as possible to stigmatize this particular nature, not to have, just to say that they can keep the family unit together as one form and not celebrating them. When the other man spoke and when the pastor spoke, he said something. When pastor spoke, he said something, and I listened to him. Those are the things that we frown against. Our forefathers, our parents, they frown against. You don't have sex before marriage because these are the
which
things
is
that
also
you're going.
scriptural.
Yeah, these are the pitfalls that you're going to fall into at the end of the day. So what are we saying? We keep celebrating them so that we'll have more. We have the society churning out more single mothers. Is that what we want to do? Is that what we want to encourage? In as much as we've seen that some people fell into this without their undoing. That's why when I say, yes, you're correct when you say widows are also single mothers. Yes, I want to agree. But I don't put them in the same bucket as those that have their husbands still alive and they're separated. I don't classify them into the same bucket. And the society also see widows and they have sympathy on them because they know life happened to them. It's not their doing. They could be more evil than those that are single mothers. But no, the society, life happened to them, and that's why they are in this shoe. So to me, that's my own view, my own opinion. I'll try as much as possible for those that are around me, the widows, to see how I can support. But for say someone is a single mother, and for us to start looking for a way to gather things together, grapple things to see how you can support that life, right? And if the man is violent and the rest, family members around them will hear their story and they will support them perfectly. Thank you.
Thank you very much. How can single mothers be empowered? Single mothers can be empowered by giving them access to resources like education, job training, financial assistance, like Lady Kiki has said, emotional support networks, like support groups or counseling even. By providing these resources, we can help single mothers thrive and provide for their family. Another question, we're running out of time. What are common misconceptions about single mothers? Common misconception. I'm just going to run on this, and then I think a couple of us have mentioned it. Common misconceptions include assumptions that single mothers are poor parents, they are financially irresponsible or morally flawed. These stereotypes are often based on outdated attitudes and don't reflect on reality. By sharing facts and personal stories, we can challenge these misconceptions and promote a more accurate understanding of single mothers. How can we build a sense of community? A sense of community.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
I think I totally agree with what the last speaker has said.
I know you agree with Gino, not with you.
Why would I not? Our ancestors before us, thousands of years.
Now, big chief, Pastor John.
No, this is serious. They kept a structure. They know that the institution is difficult. That's why they kept a structure and they started putting things in place. Some people will say the husband and wife should eat together. Some people will say they must sleep in the same room. Some people say they will shower together. All those things they did is not because you cannot eat by yourself. You can eat by yourself. But they do those things to connect the people as long as possible. Because when you're connected, the offspring you produce is different. That one is for sure. I grew up in a single parent home, so I know exactly what I'm saying. This idea, as the last speaker said, is only women that are if you want to be a single mother, go and take sperm donor. Don't involve another man and have a child by yourself. It's as simple as that. We see a tire that is not spoiled, and we are looking for a way to patch a tire. They've told you before now that do not have sex before marriage. Do not go around. Do this, do this, do this. And you say no. Then the thing you said no for became a problem. And you're looking for solution when the solution, you left the solution behind. No man I've seen the shouting, I'm a single father, running up and down.
There's a lot of men, sir, that I know that have told me they are single fathers.
Those are men that grew up with single mothers. Me, I don't know what to say. Oh, if you want to have a child, do sperm donor. Don't look for another man because you are ruining another legacy somewhere else. These are our Western ideas that we want to imbibe. We will not see rocket to go to the moon. It's the one that they destroy we like.
Just a quick one before we just to chip in on what Mr. Jane said. I choose to really disagree with that. Because when you talk about people not having sex before marriage and everything, these are people that have actually gotten married. And like I said, when I speak, when I give evidence, I do not talk about people randomly. I talk about statistics that I've actually witnessed. We've gone to court. These are people that are actually married. Like you said, when you talk about the things of the past from our great-grandfathers, what they've structured, did they beat their wives? Do they molest them? If they do, then that's totally wrong. Do they abuse them? We need to call a spade a spade. We don't talk about people having...
Our grandfathers have 6, 7, 8 wives. So if one is misbehaving, they leave them on the other side. So they don't need to beat them.
Yeah, that's good for them. But what I'm talking now, we're talking about what is currently going on. We're not talking about the great-grandfathers or great forefathers. We're talking about parents right now. What are parents actually doing to, the families? What are they doing to... You said, someone said something about families intervening. You need to understand, when we're talking about two different cultures here. We live in the UK, where a lot of people do not even have parents around them. They don't have families. They may have support network, maybe like workforce or church or mosque or whatever denomination they fall into. But most people do not even say anything for people to intervene. And if you're living with someone so toxic, why should you stay with that man? Because of your children. And if you end up dying, you will still leave the children.
The man was not toxic in Nigeria. It's when he gets to Canada,
men are toxic in Nigeria, for your
and
information.
He now became toxic.
I don't know who's speaking, but let me give you a brief. Let me introduce you. Men are still toxic. Men are toxic in Nigeria. And let me tell you the difference between the Nigerian men living in Nigeria and the Nigerian men living here. Back home in Nigeria, a lot of their wives, they've got shops, they've got this, they take care of the bills. There is no financial strain on family. That's one of the things that causes animosity between couples. The financial strain. We didn't have that back home. Most of the men took up the responsibilities. So here you've got two parents working, trying to make ends meet and everything. And on top of it, you've got someone abusive because he's stressed out. And by the time you start that and the children are witnessing it, they go to school, there are laws in place. And when the child comes to school recoiling, what's going on? Well, my dad is always hitting my mom, or my mom is always hitting my dad. So I need to make sure that it's two ways. And what would happen in that situation? Child protection steps in. So like I said, we need to always eliminate that fact that, because we come from Nigeria, Africa, we didn't do that in the past. No. We need to talk about this reign, this era we are in now. No one chooses to be a single mom. And I speak from a lot of people that I know the stories. They did not choose to be single parents. If that man that came from Nigeria comes here, don't forget that he's not worked 12 hours in his life back in Nigeria. No one works 12 hours. But they've come here, they have to work 12 hours, they have to work overnight, they're sleep deprived, financial stability, they have to pay a lot of bills than they'll normally pay. then things start to unravel.
Mm.
We call it chicken bomb. We call it chicken bomb in social work because at the end of the day, there's a lot of pressure between both individuals, and before you know it, it blows out of proportion. So we need to talk about the effect of what causes them to end up being single parents in the first place. Not because they choose to, or because our forefathers they had 8 wives. That was convenient. Try to have 2 wives here and see how you fare. Even 1 wife, you've not even survived. This is why they're killing each other. COVID, a lot of people died. Oh, you didn't get the statistic? We got it because we had to work the cases. And these were many in Nigerian families where the man had to they killed their wives over nothing. So are you telling me it's better to be dead than to be single mother?
My dear,
Because
is
you
vice
think they
versa.
had
Your
sex
stats, the
before they
women
got
kill
married? It's
too.
not about the
Just
sex
don't
before
groom
marriage.
animal children. The women kill too. They poison their husbands too. Don't
I'm
make the
not
wife.
That's why if you
Uh-huh.
Sister Maduka can testify that I keep saying in between my words that even the women, I said it a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying the abuse is just for the
It's
men.
one-sided, no.
It's not one-sided. I have seen women that I've actually had to stay with, and they've told her that she had to be supervised to be with her children because she was on drugs. And I had to test her urine 2 days before. So I'm not saying particularly to men, no. But the topic today is about single moms.
Single
That's why I'm
mothers,
not
yeah.
deviating.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
in between it, I keep saying it's not one-sided. It's two-sided. Women can abuse as well, but
Mm-hmm.
more to the men's side. We do know. Let's be realistic. But it's
No,
not
why
about
did you
because people
use the
having
word
sex.
more to the men's side?
Yeah, I'm using more to the men's side because please do go. Don't take my word for it. Please go online. Statistics about the domestic abuse, women dying, and not by
Can you
year.
hear on
Please.
Facebook? They said they can't hear you.
Oh, you can hear me?
Struggling to hear.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Can you,
we can hear you on Zoom
Oh,
here.
okay.
can you hear
Okay.
now, John?
I'm struggling to hear her.
Speak, sir.
Okay. I'll speak slowly. If you go online, please don't take my word for it. Go online and look at the statistics of the domestic killing between men and women. They will tell you about the men. If they report it, that are going through it and why they've been told to separate. Not because just of them. Someone said something about the children being stabilized. You cannot have stabilized children in a broken marriage, in a broken relationship, or in a toxic relationship. It will still traumatize the children anyways. So I would not advise anyone, oh, stay with your husband because it gives you brass boost, because the children, they need a father figure. That child will be abused, and when they grow up, they will carry on with that abuse.
They will become an abuser themselves.
Because that's what they've known. They not that because they want to do it, that's what they've known. And they will teach it as well to the children because that's what they believe is right. So it's not about having sex before marriage. I see couples that have they got married. These are people that are married, not people just taking pregnancy. That's a different story entirely. Some women are toxic. Don't get me wrong. They want to be single parent. They don't want to live under a man. Good for them. But I'm talking about genuine people, individuals that are going through hell because they got married to a man that has no culture, no values, nothing.
How did she pick the man?
That's another topic for another.
That's another topic
for another
but
day.
I don't want to. I don't want to delay. I'm only
Yes.
responding to what you said about when you said about women getting pregnant, having sex. It's not about this. I promise you. So please don't take my word for it. Like I said, go online. It's a public record. Go online and see how many women are dying by domestic abuse. I'd rather they should be single than they should be dead. That's my opinion, really. I'm not supporting single women.
Okay, let me come in here. My name is Dr. Kobe. I think I have to contribute to this conversation. This is a very interesting
Thank you.
conversation. I've listened to you speak, but you sound more like an activist than a speaker
I'm a
because
married woman with 4 kids, so I'm not activist for
you, you,
anybody.
you you sound
I'm
more like an
just trying
activist.
to.
You are, you are, I don't know, maybe this topic is actually personal to you. I don't know, but it
Because of
sounds
what
very
she
No,
has
personal.
seen, probably.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
but
No, but
professionally,
you
I
are
see
using,
it.
no, you're using your experience or maybe probably one or two experience to generalize men. Yeah.
I'm not.
No
I need to
man,
see
no
that
man.
stereotype. I need to change it.
Okay, let me land down. Let me land down. No man, an African man, Nigerian man that actually came to UK to live with his wife, have the intention to beat up his wife. No man. I'm a man, and I have friends that actually came here to the UK and they're living with their wives. None of them, because they understand the system. Even before you brought your family here, they must have told you, see, you don't try up here. You understand? They have that that thing in mind. They don't. No man. See, we in Nigeria, we've gone through enough stress, frustration. We don't put it on our wives. But you see, when we come here, you talked about. You wanted to talk something about how it started, but I think you digressed. Now, these women, when they come here, they turn something else. They turn something else. Some of them turn to beast. They understand. They become very frustrated. They understand that, oh, because of most of these women, they got into marriage or because of they want financial stability. That's why they got into marriage. They don't have the intention to be married. And once they come here, they've actually mixed up with people, maybe people that talk like you. They just have the intention. They just want to be independent. And when they don't see
Okay,
that independence,
can I
no,
stop? Can
well,
I?
let me land, let me
Hold
land,
on, let him land.
let me land, let me land. When they don't see that independence, they want to get it. Now, how do they get it? They become something else. They change. They want to start frustrating the man. And men, they react differently. You understand? But
Mm,
how long can a man
mm,
bottle it up? Now, when this man
mm.
try to respond by being, like being a little bit aggressive, immediately she picks up the call, she calls the police. So that's why you have more records of women, you know, calling the cops. But how did this thing start? That's what should be. Who changed amongst the parents?
No, but I
Ask
did
the
speak
children.
about it. I spoke about
Ask the
that.
children. The children will tell you that most 99% of it, the mom changed. I'm a psychologist. So I've actually dealt with these issues. Their mom change. They have a different mindset because they've actually interacted like women like you. They want to be the boss. They want to be the one, the controlling men.
Can we stop there,
Yeah.
please? I hate that word. Women like
Okay.
me.
Sorry about it.
Shall
Sorry
I
about it.
bust your bubble?
So
Hold on, mister. I'm gonna be married 20 years this year.
Hold on, John. Hold on. There's fire on the mountain. Wait. Lady
I'm
Key.
actually gonna be
The
married
man might be
20
suffering for 20
years.
years. You don't know.
Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna take that from you. You need to retract your words. Because my husband is sitting right next to me. Please retract your words. That's very insultive. And this is what
What,
we're talking about.
did I miss
what was
something?
He's not
what was that?
struggling. He's not
What?
struggling. I've been married 20 years. I'm not active. You say women like me. They're talking to women like me. What does that mean? Women like me. That's very
Yeah, because
insultive.
your
Don't say
views
women
are just
like me.
encouraging.
My
Perspective.
my
Your
views
views,
is because
your
hold on. My views is because I work in a professional standard working with women
I do
that have
that
been
too. I work
abused.
I work
I
in a
am not
professional standard too.
listen, I would not encourage women. And I do not, in my professional standard, to tell them, oh, please leave your husband. How can we work with both of you? That is our first step. And that's what we
But
call
you
early
didn't sound like that
intervention.
in your views. When you were airing your views,
Listen, when
you
I
never,
spoke,
I
I
listened
told,
to you
no,
talk for over 30
I
minutes.
told,
I was trying to
I was going
understand
to,
where you're coming from.
okay.
Dr. Kobe, if
Yeah.
we're
When I
going in
spoke
20
about women,
minutes, then you are not hearing. She's been talking for over 40 minutes. And the
I
20 minutes
spoke.
you heard, she was responding to something.
Oh, okay,
I
okay,
was.
okay.
I'm not. I kept saying it in between.
It was responding. We've been on this for
women.
1 hour 30 minutes now.
I don't join. I don't join.
I'm not responding. I'm not responding. I'm not saying, oh, women, you have to leave your husband. We start by early intervention. What can we do to support you guys first? And we start with that.
Even if you go for divorce, they will still try to solve problem. They don't just say, you want divorce, okay, just go divorce. No, it's not done like that.
No, oh, leave the man. Oh, he's beating. No. Early intervention, parenting classes,
conflict resolving, counseling, everything takes place.
What do you need? And when you speak about people coming to this country, people have been living here before some people came into this country. And abuse has been going on forever. The only reason we know about abuse now is because there is social media making
people are talking now.
So when you talk about African men have been, some of them, like the gentleman corrected me, some of them have been abusive back from Nigeria. But when they got here, some of them got kind of like cautioned because they can't act that way they would act normally back in Nigeria, like Lord of the Rings. But they can't do that here. So they had to like caution themselves. So when you say they talk to women like me, my job is to empower women generally. So whether you're single, whether you're not married, whether you're married, or whether you're abused or not, to empower women. And how do we start that? If we have a family, why do we want to break up a family? We don't want to break up a family. And like Mr. Jeans, the pastor said, and I said that first, I said, no one sets out when they're married to be divorced. If the women are changing, we need to look at individual stories. And when I said some men, some women are abusive as well. Their mouth, they emotionally abusive. Talk down to the man. If you talk down to anyone for a long time, they are bound to respond probably in an aggressive way. But that's not the topic. That's why I'm not trying to deviate. It's a massive topic.
I
want to just focus on the single mom. So when you kept saying, when they speak to, that's why I said, please don't say that, because I found that insultive. And all I do is try to support people. I've had friends, men, that have been abused by their wives, not physically, but emotionally, and they're not married anymore. And they are single dads. And they're taking care of their children. It's not easy, but they're doing it. But the topic today is about single mothers.
Yeah, I'm a champion of divorce. I'm a champion for divorce. I actually encourage divorce. See, if it's broken, don't try to fix it. You understand? There's no need. Just go your separate ways. Go with your lives. I'm a very big champion for that.
See, we just came back to the same conclusion, and you said women like me.
No, your views, when I was listening to you, your views are always the men are abusive, the men are abusive, the men are abusive. That's all I keep hearing. You understand? I never heard you say, no. You have to pardon. You have to pardon me because that is what I heard you say. You understand?
It's
now,
okay.
This is what. So I was wondering, is this woman professional? You understand? The way she was sounding as if, she was just one-sided. But what I'm saying is that these women, most women, Nigerian women, they marry with agenda. The Nigerian women are very smart. Most of men, actually, some men we see, I have cousins that actually, they were born here. They came back to Nigeria, got married. I have a friend, in fact, twice. He came to Nigeria twice to get married, and the two women don't live with him. You understand? They came. He's a citizen, so he got married to them somehow. When the women got the papers, bam, they acted differently. They changed. The root cause of this thing is that 99% of these women change. And that's the fact. And that's where you should be looking at the root cause, because you mentioned root cause, but you actually digress. When you mentioned root cause, I wanted to listen.
No, I didn't speak about it. You didn't hear it. I spoke about it. I said something about when they came into the country, a lot of people don't work 12 hours or work overnight. I said the financial stability sometimes, even childcare, can cause rift between couples.
You mentioned that the men
I spoke about it.
Lady Kiki, please receive Holy Spirit. Be coming down. Go on, doctor.
Yeah, you
No,
mentioned
because
that the
I
men.
like to correct any perception, because
Mhm.
he thought I didn't speak about the course of it. You talking about the women coming in now, but I'm talking about
Lady
things that
Kiki,
have
we've
been
established the fact that he came in.
late.
Yes. So,
Okay, we will
doctor,
forgive him. We will
please
forgive
also
doctor.
remember you came in a bit late. So please, so that we can wrap
Yeah,
things
yeah.
up.
Yeah,
Late or
yeah,
not,
thank you very
we know
much. You
what
know,
we
I
heard.
mean, that's why I
You see,
said she must
another
forgive me
person is
because
telling you
I
the
mean,
same thing. Say, if a man sets out with 10 women of his choice to marry, he chose 10. But a woman would have 10 men. She didn't choose them. They will choose you to marry you. You need adjustment to adjust to the man that have chosen you. A heart might be somewhere else, and the man will be tolerating the heart for 20 years.
Big Chief, sorry, I'm not going to go there. That's going to derail us completely. I'm not going there tonight. Thank you very much. Doctor, are you
yeah,
speaking? And somebody else wants to come in.
yeah. Okay,
I'm
okay. I
not
think
going
the
to
thing.
respond to that.
No, no. But what I'm saying is that what we should look at is the root cause. Like you mentioned that that most of these men, when they came, the stress on how when they work 12 hours, they come out. No,
Yeah.
no. In Nigeria, let me tell you, in Nigeria, we are used to the stress in Nigeria. You go to Nigeria, your boss will frustrate you, your colleagues will frustrate you because of all they know how to do is how to backbite and talk behind you, try to frustrate you. So we've already seen this frustration. So we don't bring it home. So most of us, we've actually built a system, a defense system, not to bring our work stress home. You understand? I will tell you, I can work 12 hours, 16 hours. As long as I see the money, I'm not stressed. That's the Nigerian man's mentality. So
That is
Nigerian man,
some men's mentality. Some.
yeah,
Not
some,
Nigerian
now,
men.
Some, not
yeah,
Some.
all of, not all
yeah,
of, not all
yeah.
of them.
Now that is because of once they see the money, except they don't see the money, that's why they get a little frustrated. But once they see the money, especially for those of us that really see as much money as we're seeing now. You understand? So I mean, it doesn't matter. But the women, once they come in here, they come
Some
in here with
women. Some
okay,
women.
some. Thank you for the correction. Some women, when they come in here, they come in with an intention. I've seen it on social media. In fact, there's a video. I can actually send the video to you. A woman called the cops and she was screaming, "He's killing me! He's killing me!" And a child was there. The child was about 4 years old. And the child would not understand what's happening. Why is she pulling that stunt? Oh, just to put the man in trouble. We've seen these things on social media. Plenty. You understand? So when we are actually doing out advice, we should actually think, because it's a sensitive thing, we should actually think about the sensitivity of the other party, the man. A man that has actually gone through a lot, listening to you. I mean, like when I came in, you understand, that quarter, we just walk out because he will just say, "Nah, them." You understand? So you must have to be sensitive when you're doing out this advice. You understand? You need to talk about the women's aspect. You need to talk about the men's aspect, and you
The
need to
topic, the
understand.
topic was
Yeah,
about single mothers. We're not talking about the
yeah.
solution right now. The topic was
No,
about
single mother is not a super.
supporting a
Is
single
not
Single
something.
mother
mothers.
did not become single by herself.
It,
There's
Okay,
something that made her
I'm
you
single.
know,
not, I'm not, I'm
she's not
not
a
here to
title.
Hey,
apportion blame to the
Kiki,
single
please help
mothers.
me here. Doctor, thank you very much. The Big Chief, thank you. Lady Kiki, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank
No,
you.
but,
I appreciate this group. I mean,
thank you. Just hang
I
in.
appreciate it. I've learned a lot from it.
We will get there. We will get there. Just hang in. Pastor John, please.
Well, my own simple this is from what they're saying. Why will a man leave his location and come down to our own village to come and marry, leaving all the women there? You are getting married to someone who is never in alignment to what is happening over there. You are only the one who is in the marriage, you're not with her, but rather she's there, number one, for the name, and two, you're also a ticket to her to abroad. And
Exactly.
during your little 1 week courtship or 2 weeks or thereabout, you never prepared her mind. She already have a different mindset of what is going to be happening there. already built herself to become a single mother.
Mm-hmm.
And you now take her as a foreigner and land in that land. Tomorrow you say she will leave the marriage. Of course, she will leave the marriage because she was never in that marriage before. She was only there for the ticket to the new greener pasture. You are the only one that have always been in that marriage and all these things.
Thank you.
So in order to avoid more of this, and I would wherever you are, find a wife wherever you are, marry a wife wherever you are that understand
Thank
the
you.
system
things that are happening around where you are. Stop coming home to come and
import.
Thank you, Pastor. Thank you.
Not always. It does not.
It's serious importation.
Where there are a lot of women that they feel themselves, they want to be a single mother from onset. Just to answer Mrs. So, they already made up their mind from day one. And may God help you. You now take them outside the country where they see the opportunity. So society over there doesn't care. But here, they are hiding. They are still there because of what society will say.
Exactly.
Thank you very much, Pastor John. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you, Pastor John.
Now, before I ask my last question, I'm going to summarize all we've been saying. And I've kept saying this. Gino will bear me witness because he's been on for forever on the talk show. And I keep doing the disclaimer that we are not encouraging single motherhood. We are not supporting it. What we are simply saying is that whatever your circumstances may be, it has happened. Do we add to your problem or do we help? How do we help? How do we support? Not just because of you, but because of the next generation, because of those children you have. Because whether we like it or not, Big Chief knows a bit of my story. We do talk a lot. And I know, I mean, my husband was back in Nigeria. I was here. So I was not a single mother by intention. And so we have stories of people like that who say, okay, go and have baby, I'm coming, or something happened, maybe the husband could not join you. You end up being a single mother here. It was not a choice. Okay, so even though the father was in Nigeria, the father was not there at that time. My child was going through his own trauma. Where's my daddy? My daddy abandoned me. That's the way he felt. Even though I kept explaining things to him that he did not abandon you, he's still in your life. You know, so people have stories. This is all we are saying. Try and understand people's story, be empathetic with them. We cannot rule out the bad eggs. It's in the female, it's in the male. I mean, if you have 5 children, you will be able to tell among these 5 children, this is one, a bad egg. Are you sure saying I me born this Peking? You know, it's there. Among the family, your siblings, you have the one that will be like the bad egg. How much more the society at large? Do you understand? So we're saying, whatever mess, people's mess turn to messages.
Yeah.
So how do we help them in this mess and turn it around to a message? How do we support them? Do we add to the pain? Do we add to the struggle? Do we support them? This is what the talk show is all about. It's not about who is right, who is wrong. It's not about the gender, is the male that is right or the female that is right. No, so let's not turn the table to that. I'm going to ask my last question and then we'll wrap it up. How can we balance the needs of single mothers with those of other family structures? How do we balance things up? It's a bit technical one. How can we balance the needs of single mothers with those of other family structures? Anybody have any idea? How can we help? How can we balance things up, although they are not balanced?
Can't be balanced.
You can understand?
I think, yeah.
Go on. No, go on.
Okay. I think first and foremost, we need to have a compassionate heart. We need to accept them as still being human, because we don't know what the problem is, what led to this.
Yeah.
Learn to forgive, like just what the Bible said, and accept them, then be able to help in also playing the role of a father in the life of those children in one way or the other. We can't say because there is no father will not be able to correct their child. And someone who is ready to let someone whom you shows love, whom you gives an open arm, knowing fully well that I'm always here in case if you need an advice, in case if you need help. I know that most of them are there by their own choice. Some are not, some are also there not by their own choice, but some are technically there from day one based on what they have planned before getting in there. Those ones are usually difficult or to help in any way. Those ones that have planned it from day one. But the ones that get in there because of circumstances,
yeah,
I think we should always try to come in from the aspect of real love, genuine love, not to take advantage of them, rather to help them in every way necessary. Because most of the times, why a lot of them are getting confused, because people come into their life in the name of they want to help them, and they keep taking advantage of them.
Exactly.
Thank you very much, Pastor John. Anybody else, Lady Key, anyone?
I support Pastor John on what he said, because I think as whatever community we're in, and like I said, we always talk about the support network, and that's the factors we look at. Maybe your immediate family, maybe friends at work, wherever we are. First and foremost, show compassionate, true love, and how can we support and how can we help? And if there are fathers, maybe in your surroundings, in your communities, we chastise children. We still do it when we see them doing things. Oh, don't do that, but we don't castigate and say, oh, because it doesn't have a dad. That's why, that's why I said that earlier on. We need to watch our words first and foremost. We need to watch how we speak, even to these children. And like I said, every person has a story to tell. Every person. And we cannot put them in the same boat. We can't put all single mothers in the same boat. It's a different stories. Some make themselves single intentionally. Some, they're not intentional. I think someone spoke about the widows. Well,
Yeah,
whether we put
Brother
them in the same
Gino.
boat or not, at the end of the day, they're still single. Widow or no widow, they're still single. So whichever way, if you know anyone, I think we start by helping out showing kindness one at a time. If one person can benefit from you, then I think you've done something well. So if you know about a single mom that can help, if it's taking the kids to school, don't worry, Mama Lagbaja, I'll pick the kids up. I'm not single, but I will tell you something my siblings do for me. Even, and I know a lot of people can do that. My siblings, even with myself and my husband, sometimes they'll say, "Are you home?" Yeah. Okay. What are the kids doing this weekend? I don't know. They're gonna be at home. Okay, we're coming to pick them up. They know we can take the kids out, but they still know that apart from fearing that their dad is there, they know they've got uncles that they have to be mindful of. That if they do anything, someone is there to correct them. They're even more scared of their uncles than their dad. They'll say, "Please don't tell uncle. Please don't tell uncle." And the dad will say, "I'm going to tell your uncles what you've done." So we as a family, I see any Nigerian, any African person, I see them as families. So let's show that love, like Pastor John has said. And by showing love, it could be anyone we could show love to. I know some people not welcome it, some women, because it's all about single mothers, because they made themselves single intentionally. So it's two things. Being intentionally single is separate from not being intentional about being single. So we could help, we could support, we could show love, but first and foremost, we need to watch our words. I know a lot of them come in, like Pastor John said, you go somewhere, you go and marry someone that doesn't know the culture of where you're bringing her to. They come here, it's a different ball game. They've seen life. You brought someone from total poverty, and they're like, "Oh my God, I'm into life. Okay, why do I need this man? I
One
don't need this
chance,
man."
yeah. Oh, one
Yeah,
chance, yeah, straight.
that's a different story entirely. But how can we help? Please, if we have ways to support them, signpost them. Some people want to work. Some people want to, learn.
Thank you very much, Lady Kiki. Thank you so much. I'm going to add to this. Back home, we believe in community parenting.
Yeah.
I know it's reduced now with all the kidnapping and everything, And here also, we still can, even no matter the law. And a good example is what Lady Kiki just said about reaching out, about helping. And also, sometimes we don't actually need to wait for a request. There is a need. Let us reach out. I know of a lady, it's been a while now, who said she looked after 3 boys on her own. Her story was a bit pathetic, and she had 2 brothers with her here in UK, and nobody ever stepped in to be like a proper uncle, not even father, a proper uncle to those boys. There was never, hey boys, what are you doing? I'm coming to pick you guys out, or what are you doing with your studies? Have a conversation with them.
Did she lose her husband?
It's a long story. I don't want to go into that. It's a long story, yeah. She was married and everything, but it's a long story. That would derail everything now, so I don't want to go into that. But the thing is, I'm talking about not outsiders now, her family. So let us be there. Let us stretch a hand of compassion or help. Let's even quote and unquote, which is not the story, but I'm flipping the story now. Maybe she even had these 3 boys for 3 different men, and she did not marry any of them. Maybe she was a wayward girl. She was a bad girl. Do you understand? There's no how bad your child will be that you will kill that child. This is still your sister. Of course, you rebuke her. You will do everything. But then you will still say, how are the kids? How can we help? How can we support? Talk to the boys. What is your son's number? He doesn't have a phone. Buy the phone for that child. Maybe top up every month. You've taken that burden off her. And then you're calling the child every now and then. You're stepping up, covering that gap. It's not all about condemnation. The Bible says, who has not sinned?
Throw the first stone.
Throw the first stone. It's easy to point fingers. Who is a saint? If you did not commit the sin of adultery or fornication, you have stolen, you have lied. Who is perfect? So let us not be about what did she do wrong? What did he do wrong? The knife on your Betty Gomolowo at Sobenu. The knife has cut the finger of the child. If you like throw the knife, or if you like break the knife has done the havoc already. The most important thing now is not about the knife, but about protecting that hand. How do we stop the blood from the finger from bleeding out? How is the finger going to heal? Talking from compassion, empathy, and the place of forgiveness. The only reason why, as a family, you will not step in to support your sister. I'm not even going far now. I'm going home. It's either there's hatred, there's envy, or there is anger and unforgiveness. And are you a Christian? Are you a child of God? And who are you to judge? So if you are saying, because she did this, I'm angry with her, I'm bitter with her, I'm not going to talk to her, I'm not going to help her, she will still survive without you. And they say everybody go by, but how you go by matter. Everybody will die. But how you die matters. How you will be remembered matters. Let those children grow up and say, Uncle was there for us. Let them be able to say, my sister, auntie, my mom is my mom, my dad is my dad as a single father. But there is this auntie who I can always cry to, I can run to. No matter what the children become tomorrow, If they give their mother or their father 10 pounds, they'll probably give you 20 because they know the impact. May the good Lord help us. I'm going to read some comment. Oh, Omoti, that's another story, so I'm not going into that. Yeah, okay. Thanks for the gift, ma'am. We need to educate our children about boy meets girl relationship. Okay, mommy, help me with that topic. Maybe we'll look into that next time. It's been a wonderful night. It's been a beautiful one. It's been educative. It's been, what's the English now? Confrontational. It's been a lovely. I didn't think I was going to be here till this time, but it's been lovely. Thank you all for joining on TikTok. Wow, I cannot mention names. Thank you all for joining, for your testing, your gifting, your everything. Mommy Okiki so I did not hear your voice. Thank you all. Big Chief. Anytime I send anything on, you see what, so Big Chief will open his eyes. When I send this stuff, he was like, I said, one day, this your eyes don't go pop.
I'm not from Big Chief this year.
He spoke. Oh, didn't you hear fire? He spoke. But Gino, thank you so much for looking at things from a different perspective and throwing more light into things, and we're able to look things deeper. Thank you so much for that. It's very important. We all cannot face one traffic. We look at things from different perspective, and then we'll be able to handle things and understand things more and more. Thank you for that. Thank you so much. Mommy Okiki, thank you for joining very late. We love you. I know you are probably on 10 platforms this night, so I understand. God bless you, ma. Doctor, thanks for joining. I've not seen Doctor before in our program. Thank you for joining, sir.
Today is actually my first day, and I'm so much in love with the topic. So I think I'll be your
guest. Who invited you?
Big Chief did.
Big Chief. I'll give me your number, so I don't wait for Big Chief because I'm not trusting that Big Chief these days. That was a joke anyway. All right. Okay. Until in 2 weeks' time, hopefully, we'll come back for another topic. If anybody have any topic, any idea, please just throw it to me, and then we'll all come back like this. We'll talk about it. Nobody is anatomy of knowledge. We'll share different views, different ideas, and hopefully somebody will be revived, will be healed from this. But I join me and you, we'll enter one trust after this. No worry. Good night, everyone, and God bless you.
Good night.
Good night. I was in a physical program, I know, ma. Good night, everybody on TikTok. Good night on Facebook. Omoti, thank you. Good night, sis. Yeah. Oh boy. You know what? There's another way. That was not gonna work for me. Oh my gosh.